Guys, it's Amberly from Starfocal. We just got back from the IFABO conference in San Francisco, and I wanted to share with you something that we got from there. It's really awesome. It's this guy right here, and this happens to be the One Perfecting brush from Becca Cosmetics. So today I'm going to show you how to use it, and what we're going to do with it is I have a couple of different products, different samples from Becca Cosmetics, as well as, my own products that I use on a daily basis. They gave us a sample of the Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. And so they just gave me a little tiny thing here. And then they also gave me a bronzing skin perfector. And I don't have any bronzing cream or anything like that on my own, so we're going to go ahead and use that today as well. And then recently, we also got a product from Mercier that is really awesome, and that would be this guy right here. And this guy happens to be a foundation that is not only a powder, but you can also add water to it to make it a liquid foundation. So I've been really excited about that. It's actually what I wore at the conference, so stay tuned for a review of that as well. But like I said, today we're going to be focusing on the One Perfecting brush. So first we're going to start off with the Ever Matte Primer. So let's see if I can get this guy to work for me. Alright, so at the conference they explained to us that the One Perfecting brush is really awesome because not only is it a shape that you can use for any brush. I know a lot of us makeup gurus have tons and tons of brushes and we hate having to figure out what we're doing with them. So what's cool about this brush is that not only is it a shape that we can use for all the different makeup that we have to put on, but it also is great to use for liquids and powders. And yes, they did tell us that we can use it for both, one after another, because of it's made out of goat hair, and when we're done with one product, it actually puts it all on our face instead of just a little bit, and then the rest of it stays on the brush. So with this product, it actually all gets used, so you also don't waste any product. So we're going to start with the primer, which is a liquid. So we'll see how this goes. Now again, this is the Becca Cosmetics Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. So that's what we're using it for. Now what's cool about this brush is that you can use it in all different kinds of angles and get every single inch, which is really awesome. Okay, so now we got all of the primer, and the brush is still pretty dry. So now we're going to go from the primer to the foundation. I'm just going to take a couple little sweeps and apply it and see how this goes. Now my Mercier foundation that I'm using comes with a sponge pad, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but it'll at least give you an idea of how you use this brush. And I'm not going to go full on out with makeup today. I want to try to keep it at least somewhat simple. Okay. So, to me it seems like that the brush actually did pretty well going from wet to dry. If you look, you can still see some of the foundation on it, but obviously with most brushes there's still going to be something going on. So now we're going to go from dry, after we went from dry to wet, or wet to dry. Now we're going to go from dry to wet, and we're going to see how that goes. So, go ahead and steal a little bit of something for blush. And what they told us to do is to put it on the back of our hand for certain different products. And just take a little bit of it with the brush. And then apply it. And the cool thing about this particular brush is that it's angled perfectly so that you can get the apples of your cheeks and everything else, and you don't have to bend or contort your brush just to be able to get it on. So that was pretty cool. I really liked that, and I know a lot of other people at the conference did as well. I mean, this brush was a huge hit, and we are all really, really excited to be able to test it out. Alright, so we got that. Now there's a little more pink on the brush, but that's okay. So far I haven't noticed any transferring of anything. So now we're going to go ahead and do the bronzer, which is the really fun part. Alright, got a little bit of the bronzer on. And so far I'm really, really enjoying using this brush. It seems to be working very, very well. It's very, very soft, which obviously you can't tell on camera, but if you look at it, you can kind of see the bristles are really nice, and it's just overall pretty great. It's easy to hold. It's kind of thin, but it has a big handle on it, so you don't have to worry about, like, with your other brushes having to press them down. This one's already pressed down. But it has a big surface area, so you can also use it for your foundations and your primers, anything else that you needed to use it for, and it really works out great. I definitely would recommend this to anybody that does makeup, because I know a lot of us, like I said earlier, have tons and tons of brushes. I mean, I've seen people with 30+ brushes just sitting all over their makeup counters. So this is really great. You only need one instead of tons and tons of brushes. So I definitely would check that out, and you can find that on the Becca Cosmetics website. You can find it under their brushes. It's really, really great. I absolutely love it, and I'm sure you will too. Thanks, guys.